photography, so I'm going to treat this as if you have no experience. I'm sure you all can operate a point-and-shoot camera. I'm sure you can take a picture, but your control and range over what goes into that picture, you maybe have different ideas about how to create a picture. Bohr was talking, guys, a lot about signs, and that's an idea that's going to be very important in photography. But seeing as you're not creating the image so much as you are capturing and manipulating the image, it's going to be a little bit different in photography. For example, instead of just displaying signs and reading them for their meaning and what they represent, we're also going to look at the way that representing signs and different perspectives on signs can change the way that signs appear. So if you display, we can have the same signified object. We could have the same, for example, this mouse or these aviator sunglasses. There are 8,000 or 9,000 different ways that you could display these, and you can evoke a different meaning from them on their own. An object within itself doesn't necessarily have meaning, but when an object becomes a sign, by its portrayal, it creates meaning. So this is all very theoretical. What we're going to do today is I'm going to show you some basic ideas of conventional ways of framing a photograph. Does everyone understand what I mean when I say framing a photograph? Okay. Now, we're going to learn a few basic rules or guidelines, I prefer to say. You will eventually learn when you can and cannot stray away from these, but for the first few days of photography, I want you to try and follow this lesson, and I want you to try and stick within the guidelines that I give you. So, if you want to take note of these, I'm going to show you a few different kinds of shots and the terminology for them. Because when you read about photography, whether or not you choose to follow these guidelines, the terms are fairly universal. So, you'll want to be able to understand what people are saying when they say close-up, a medium shot, what does that mean? What's a wide shot? The problem is that the terms are not exact and absolute. Some people, when they say a long shot, might mean what someone else means with a medium shot. So what I've done is I've found what I think are the average definitions of each one of these to give you a fair example of them. So, but just remember that, you might get into an argument with someone about, they might call something a long shot that you don't think is a long shot, but there's no dictionary definition of any of these things. So what I've done here is I've selected a bunch of photographs from professional photographers, photojournalists in some cases, art photographers in some cases, and I have also examples from our students, which I'll show you later. So we're going to start out. This is a photograph by a photographer named James Knockway, and this is an example of what's called an extreme long shot. It is about anything this wide or wider would be considered an extreme long shot. Basically, the way that we decide what the width or what the length of a shot is how the subject is placed. In this case, the subject is this man here. Not only is his full body in frame, but it's pulled out so far that the focus is more on his surroundings than on his particular details. You notice you can barely tell his facial expression. You can see his posture, but really it's more about his placement within the scene. This is called an extreme long shot. Some people would refer to this as an extreme wide shot, but the older term is to call it a long shot. Extreme long shot, excuse me. But bear in mind that when people say wide shot, they mean the same thing as long shot. Because in order to get this wide of an angle, you need to be long distance away from them. So that's why those two are the same thing. The next thing I want to show you